Hi folks, Steve Okino from History in the Hand, and I've got about an hour before I have to meet my wife at our mechanic's house, and so I stopped in town, and I'm gonna explore this completely overgrown backyard of that original, looks like a large 4-square house. We're gonna see what we can find. I mean, it's old enough for there to be barbers and probably even seeded coins, but we'll see what we can find. We only have a little bit of time, so let's get to it and see if we can find some history to hold right in our hand. Come on along, you are invited. Old 2-button push-button light switch. A light switch plate that is brass, I would say. So that's kind of cool. Out here, buried in the lawn, the overgrown lawn of this property. But we're here in the early spring, hoping to get a couple swings before the stemmy stuff comes up. High tone here, probably a penny. Yep. Lincoln Memorial. 72. Well, it's copper. All right, on to the next. I heard a dime, but it's a clad. This house is way old enough for there to be silver, so we'll keep on looking. On to the next. Ooh, I think I know what this is. I'd say that this is a dump truck tailgate from a kid's toy. Now, there doesn't appear to be a nameplate, but I'll bet you dollars to donuts that's what that is. Ooh, looky there. Oh, that's old. That is a seated. Oh my gosh, 1841. Holy cow, that is my oldest seated coin. 1 dime. Wow. You know, not that far under the ground either. Be nice and gentle with it. 1 dime. Look at that. $1841. Wow. Oh, that is amazing. Just when I got tired of digging pennies, this pops up. And so close to the ground, what? Maybe 3 inches. Wow, that is amazing. Let me get that cleaned up and we'll take a close-up of it. Oh, so cool. That is an old... That's an old padlock cover. One of the old brass ones. And that would have been where the key went in. There'd have probably been a cover over that keyhole. Not sure if we're gonna... yeah. Okay. This is gonna say something lever. Excelsior. something, or Oliver. We found ourselves a pewter spoon. Lead pewter. That's an old one. But this place is old. So they stopped making these in about 1820, as near as I can tell. Not that people stopped using them, but that's an old spoon. It's heavy. All right, on to the next. Well, we're at a different location now. We're gonna check out. There's a little bit of lawn left from this old ramshackled place behind me, and we're gonna see if we can find something in the lawn. Come on along. Let's see what we can find. Now that's an old style buckle, and I wish I knew. I see a 7C. 7C. I don't know what to make of this. I'll have to do a little. It's an interesting style. You know, for a long time I didn't find any of these, and now I seem to be finding them pretty often. So that is interesting. I don't know what to make of that. 7C. Wonder if it's military? Don't know. Worth saving. And a great high tone. It's good to get one. Well, there's an accordion reed. G sharp. Cool beans. That's an old one. So many of the folks that originally settled this area came from the Black Forest of Germany. Cool beans. All right, little bit of history right there in the hand. That's why we came, folks. Well, there's an old brass rivet from a piece of horse tack that would have been on a strap of some type, on some bit of horse tack. So that's cool to find. It's been a while since people used horses around here. I'm guessing at least 100 years, if not more. On to the next. And that is a tiny little buckle that still has leather in it. That's kind of cool. You don't find that every day. I don't know if that was off of a snowshoe binding or something. Who knows? But cool little buckle. Nice. Okay. That's worth saving. Ooh. Look somewhat official. I'm just gonna barely kiss this with the brass bristle brush. It's the first week of March and a motorcycle just went by. That'll tell you how ridiculous this winter has been here in northern Pennsylvania. Shades, something Shade Corporation. I see tents and something. Possible nickel tone. Although, you know what it could be? It could be a buckle. Looky here. So you never know. Of course, it could have been a pull tab too. But in this case, look at that. Look at that buckle. And there's the triple spear. Is that leather? I think that was leather. But in the last 100 years, it's kind of gone away. Who could blame it? But yeah, that's a nifty piece right there. Sometimes there's a patent date. All we know about this one is that it's patented, but that's all. On to the next. And that is a tiny little 2-hole button. Yeah, that's nifty. That could have come off a flannel shirt or something. I almost didn't dig this because I found a bunch of aluminum rod through here. But I am so glad I did dig this. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is what you call a baby spoon right there. Wow, that is really neat. You know, I've never found one intact like this. That is cool. I guess we've all heard it said, dig everything. And this is a great example of why. That is cool. Aren't you glad you came along today? Speaking of coming along, listen, I would appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel. Nothing would please me more than being able to just come out and enjoy my hobby and make a little money. And you can help by just clicking that subscribe button. Thank you very much. All right, on to the next. Screaming High Tone 88. And I can see right here what looks like a D buckle. And that is indeed what it is. There's what's left of the tongue. That's a cool brass buckle right there, and a little piece of history. So many closures, whether buttons or buckles, clasps, adjusters, even zipper pulls and things. On to the next. Now, I almost didn't dig this because it sounded kind of like a mosquito. You know, zoop, 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 instead of beep, 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 beep. But I'm glad that I did dig it. This looks like it might have been from a Victorian era ladies' lace-up boots. They called them witches' boots, I think. And these would have been all the little holders that the shoelaces went around. That's a cool little piece of history. I've never found one of these. I've found lots of these eyelets that have pulled out, but this is the entire strip. That is really neat. Oh, it's so fragile, my gosh. But I'll see if I can salvage it. Pretty sure I know what this is. Oh no. No, it's not. I thought there was going to be a slit. I thought this was the combustion chamber of a kerosene lamp, but it's not. Some decorative piece of something or other. Just one of those mystery items that we find, unless you know what it is. If you know what it is, why please make a comment. There's much I don't know. I'm just kind of duffing along at this. I've only been in it. I'm coming up on 2 years in June, but you know, that reminds me of the bag of Jiffy Pop popcorn when it's popping over the gas stove burner. Ooh, that smelled good. Well, there's a cool old pot lid. Look at that. The little glass knob on it. Now, this could be some kind of plumbing fixture, but it could also be what's known as an ox knob. It's weird that there would be a little set, a place to drive a pin in there. This could be what went along the tip of an ox horn to make it less dangerous, and it would be screwed on. I don't know. If you can kind of confirm or definitely discount this as an ox knob, then please let me know in the comments. There are some kind of primitive threads which don't look like common plumbing threads to me on the inside there. Anyhow, on to the next. So the house is over there, and there's the outhouse, and right along here is a bank barn with a huge spring coming out of it. And I found the ox knob right over there. So it could be farming something or other, but there's a huge spring coming out right underneath this building. And I wonder if this is where they at least house the horses or something like that. I mean, we are right on this steep valley. There was no agriculture here that I could imagine, unless there might be some fields up this valley. And then here's the old 1800s wagon path coming down through here. So yeah, there's just lots to explore. So, behind me, where you can see that white aluminum gutter in the background, that's where the barn foundation was. And I was wondering, when I found what could be an ox knob, if there was any agriculture in the area. And this answers the question. Here is an old horse-drawn hay collector. So that gives us our answer. And behind me, you can see that there is a flat enough area that some agriculture could have occurred there. I imagine there would have been an apple orchard here as well, because just about every place there was a house, there was an orchard. So I'm going to snoop around in here, see what I can find, but I don't have much more time before I need to get back to work. So come on along, let's capitalize on our last few minutes together. Got this great screaming signal that just made me think I was going to find a seated dime, and instead it's this chunk of lead. Oh well. So I just pulled into my driveway, and would you look at that? Tick, tick, tick. Another tick down there. It's just a tick fest. That's terrible. Well, you learn something every day, and today you learned that this is not my hair. All right, let's take a look at what we've got. We'd been to a few different spots, but before I get too much stuff, let's take a look at what we've got. Our fabulous Presto mason jar lid, and here's our 2-button push-button light switch from behind the old place. This is some ornamental cover. I don't know if it's copper or brass, but it's very thin. So that was interesting. There's our shade tag, various copper things. There's the tailgate off of a toy truck. Bullets. Here's our 2 spoons. So this is the baby spoon. And then just to show how small it is, here's the bowl of an old lead pewter spoon that I found. And then this is really neat. So this is the hook and loop for a lady's witch's boot. There's some pennies. There's our G-sharp accordion reed and our 1841 seated Philadelphia dime. Here's an Excelsior 8-lever lock plate. Mystery item, what I think is an ox knob, but not absolutely certain. Please confirm if you know. And that's a brass rivet. Here's lead. Here's our closures that we found. Here's some sort of a ginormous buckle, which I'm assuming that this is from some sort of horse tack, just from the heaviness of it, but I don't know for sure. A couple little D buckles. Nice little clasp here, and there is our 7C. I have to look that up and find out what it is. But that's a cool brass buckle, and then there's a cool another little buckle that still has some leather in it. So it's been fun getting out. I mean, it's really amazing that we're digging at the end of February, and this is the first week in March. So it's unbelievable that it's thought I should be snowmobiling this time of year, but I'm not. So anyway, thanks for sticking with us this long here at History in the Hand. I'm Steve, reminding you that if you are not looking for it, you're not going to find it. And you are invited to join us next time right here on History in the Hand.